What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another edition of the B.TS Show. I'm your host, Chris J. Thank you guys for pulling up. Salute to Big Bad for shouting me out and sending y'all over here. I greatly appreciate him for doing that. Today, for those who are new, every Thursday night after Lapeef Let's Talk, we do a reaction show every single Thursday night. So y'all still up, y'all don't want to go to bed, and y'all want to talk about what y'all heard today, y'all can come over here. We could wrap it up. We could talk. The link is there. Y'all can pull up anytime. Before we get started, you guys know what you need to do. Like this video, subscribe to my YouTube page, follow me on all my social media accounts. If you want to make a donation, the Cash App is $ the B.TS Show. Participants waive all their rights to privacy. We're still on the way to 1,000 subscribers. Once we reach that goal, one lucky person will get $100. So you guys know my word. I'll give away $50 once we reach 500 subscribers to one lucky person. Don't forget to visit thebtsishow.com, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, today, all world reaction. Lapeef, let's talk. Now, I will openly admit that last topic really got to me. Like, really pissed me off. Now, as much as I am pro men and try to defend men and how some of the men on that panel let me down, I had to play this clip.
Look, after this conversation right now, the black woman is God.
Shut up, Logic. Shut up, Logic.
Everybody on that panel, outside of Anton, JR, fucking retards. Yes, I said it. Tell them they're more than welcome to pull up and click the link. But I'm going to be cool. I'm going to be chill. And just let everybody know, we are simulcast Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Clubhouse. We do this every Thursday night. Let's get started with the first topic, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, you guys can pull up anytime. If you guys got any thoughts, go ahead. I'm not going to censor you. This is the place where you don't get, for the most part, uncensored. Now, you get off topic, talk about some dumb shit, I'm going to stop you. But you ain't got to worry about that here. First question. Do you believe we are in the catfish culture? Not only are we in the catfish culture, ladies and gentlemen, we've been in it. Let me tell just a quick story. When was MySpace popping? Shit. 2006. I had a catfish situation. I was young. I didn't know any better. And yes, they had filters back then. I wasn't too happy. And also, I had to learn real quick. Don't mess with no chick that only takes headshots. That's it. This is all you see. That means something's going on from here down. And I had to find that out the hard way. So you guys can imagine how I felt when I thought I was looking for this one particular chick, and then as soon as I pull up on the north side of Houston, this bowling ball with the faded black shirt come walking out, and I'm over here mad as hell because I don't have my phone with me at that time in 2006, so I couldn't compare if this is the same person or not. But I got catfish. Catfish has always been here, ladies and gentlemen. It's not going anywhere. Just too many people are a little bit extra with the filters, a little bit extra with everything else. Now I hear what Anton is saying regarding to leave that online shit alone because that's cheating. You just might as well date in person. I agree, but still, what you see in person is not always what you get. Because outside of the house, just like online, outside of the house, all you see is a representative. You don't see nothing substantial until you really get them in that comfort zone. You really get them out of that environment. I don't care if you're a man or woman. So I hear what he's saying, but nah. Now, Precious brought up something I never heard of. Permanent makeup. See, look, I stay out of this whole makeup realm. That's for you ladies, my wife, and that type of stuff. Allegedly, I might know a couple things here and there. That's only just to engage in conversations that I don't want to be in, but you do what you got to do back in the day. And Anton brought up something during the first topic, and just to let you guys know, we're gonna go through every single topic. So, like I said, pull up anytime. It's up to you. I have no particular order. Now, he said the less option is better when it comes to dating. More options are bad for you. There is some truth to that, ladies and gentlemen. The more options you hear him say it all the time. You have to get this right one time. I'm not talking about polygamy. I'm damn sure not talking about whatever Roya was talking about earlier on the panel today. Why people tend to get this shit fucked up and get this shit out of whack is because there's too many options to choose from. But the question is, hold on. Shout out to Mufasa. What do you say back in the day? The homegirls used to catfish us. My friend is pretty. Yeah, I got catfish back in the day. Matter of fact, I was stuck with the take one for the team girls. If you don't know what take one for the team means, you might be a little bit too young for this conversation, but you can still kick it. But yeah, we're in a situation where there's too many fucking options. Like I said, I don't exercise any options. I don't exercise options. I make sure I cut my options off. Like I'm good. But to the single brothers out there, you just got to be careful when you're doing this online dating stuff. Be extremely careful. Meet them in person, and not only when you meet them in person, don't commit yet. You gotta go through the vetting process. Now, I spoke about all of this during the marriage series. It's a 4-part series that I did on Clubhouse. Don't worry, I will bring it to YouTube, and I will merge it in its totality so you guys can avoid situations like this. Don't be like me, going to the north side, meeting up with this chick, or even worse, you at the movie theaters waiting for a chick to pull up, and you find out this. Let me not go there because I got a new audience, so I'll be nice. I'll turn up if I have to, but yeah, we don't have to go there. Let's get to the hold on, Cheryl. What you saying? But is that catfish? What happened to me? 100%. That's catfish. If that's what you are referring to. But let's get to the second topic: how brainwash works. I'm not gonna speak to that video because I was confused. I thought when I first saw that video, I'm under the impression that you're talking about hiring discrimination or something to that extent. I did not get that video. So let me use a better example when it comes to brainwash. It's just nothing but manipulation. Now, no machines are necessary. You have to find out one person's weakness, turn that into a goal that they have to achieve. Once you do that, you now have full control of this individual. That's brainwashing. That's modern day brainwashing. Permanent makeup is not cat. What? I know you lying. Do y'all see this? Oops. Sherelle, permanent makeup is not catfish. How's it not? You're gonna have to explain that to me. I'll continue on with the show, but you're gonna have to explain that to me. Permanent makeup is not catfish. Now, here's her rebuttal to that. That's like saying tattoos are cat. That's not the same thing, Sherelle. That's it's at the top of the whatchamacallit, Sherelle. It should be though. Yeah, click the link. It's right there. Yeah, that's not no. Because when we talk about tattoos, ladies and gentlemen, first time on the BTSI show is here's Miss Sherelle. Sherelle, what's going on? How you doing? Can you hear me?
Hey, how you doing? First.
Doing good. Now you're gonna have to explain to me how permanent. Actually, let me go ahead and take this earbuds off because I have a audience on Clubhouse. Now you're gonna have to explain to me how a permanent makeup is not catfish. I need to
Okay,
I need
so
you to explain that.
the process of the foundation, the permanent foundation or blush is basically like tattooing that color into your skin. Microblading is tattooing the black color on your eyebrows. If you get the permanent lipstick, it's tattooing that color lipstick on your lips. So if you have tattoos, if a person has tattoos, you wouldn't say that's catfishing. So if a person has or is tattooing makeup on their skin, that's not catfishing either because it's permanent.
So you mean to tell me, obviously this is a woman thing. Ain't no man doing this. A woman could go get some needles, do all this stuff to her lips,
Well,
different
I mean, you have to
colors.
be certified to do it. It's just like you can't just go get a. I don't think you would want to just do it to yourself, right? Like that's. Do you tattoo yourself, or do
If
you
I
go
can.
to somebody who knows how to do it?
So you mean to tell me this never, and I mean ever comes off, ever?
Yeah, it don't never come on. And I just think I don't think that that's catfishing. I think catfishing is just like I'm up here and I'm saying my name is Sherelle and I'm from New Orleans and you know, and then you meet me and my name is Barbara and I'm white and I'm from Minnesota. That's catfishing.
That's not catfishing. No. What we're talking about is all right. Let me go in detail about how I got legit catfish. We're talking about I'm supposed to meet a one chick, light skin, nice long hair, pretty smile. I go drive 30, 45 minutes to the north side of Houston. Finally meet this chick, and she looks like Big Shirley. That's fucking catfishing. We're not talking about no permanent filters. You see what I'm saying now? Sherelle, you disappear?
Wait, you can hear me now? Okay,
Yeah.
you can hear me?
Yeah, you good.
Okay, so that's not catfish. That is fat fish. Okay, some people catfish, some people fat fish, and some people hat fish. Like you ever say a man always wear a hat, never take his hat off because he got a bald head, but he doesn't want people to know he got a bald head.
Tory lines, I remember. Okay.
Then a fat fish is somebody about to lie about their weight, and then you meet them, and then they're a fat fish. It's the same fish, but it's like 80 pounds heavier. But it's still a salmon, a salmon, whatever.
No. I'm not about to play with y'all, man.
Yes, because let me tell you, like we have beauty standards. Okay, in as human beings, the way we're supposed to be, we're all supposed to be like ugly creatures, right? But because we got brains and all that, eventually we did it different, right? So like some women grow beard, some women grow mustaches. You
Mm-hmm.
would grow beard, you would grow mustache, our hair would grow. We would all grow hair on our underarms and our legs and our privacy areas. We all shave this stuff now to make life better, right? Because that's what beauty standards has done. So we do things to groom ourselves, and then we do things to upgrade our looks. And I think that that's just what. And then women are more into that because I guess they have more free time into the look thing because that's what this social, society judges them on. So I think it's that, right? Because if you go see a homeless man, he hasn't groomed in years, he hasn't brushed his teeth. Brushing your teeth is not natural. Cutting your beard is not natural. Grooming yourself is not natural. You would just grow and be beastly, right? But you you cut your beard that way because you want it that way. You're
But
approving
sure,
your appearance.
but sure, we all know that women have mustache, like they grow
But
mustache.
not all women. Not all women though.
But we know it's nat. We know that's natural, and that's part of the grooming process, hygienes. What I'm
Right. And
talking
some
about.
women naturally have acne or they have like age lines or under eye bags, right? And that's
Mhm.
usually what they get the makeup for to like clear up the dark marks on their skin and stuff like that they can't get rid of or whatever. And they usually just get the tattoos over that. Like people
Well,
get like if you get a scar, like if you get in an accident, you get a big scar on your leg, people usually get a tattoo over the scar. So they usually get the makeup done over the scars on their face.
mm, I was about to make. Oh yeah, with the women and the makeup. See, believe it or not, contrary to popular belief, I don't mind women wearing makeup because that's part of their uniform. Now, 10 pounds of makeup, looking like Harley Quinn. Okay, I'm gonna say something, but I don't think that's somewhat catfishing. Like you wear a moderate size of makeup to where it looks like you're not wearing makeup, then cool. Every now and then, I tell people they won't be able to tell the difference if my wife is wearing makeup or not because she's not all out there like I guess what the men complain about these days. If that makes any sense. Hold on, what does Mufasa? What Mufasa say? It's natural for a woman to grow goatees. Um, women do have gross facial hair, but that's just part of the hygiene process, keeping it down. Uh, yeah, sure. The permanent makeup, the fact, see, tattoos are tattoos. Permanent makeup. See, when I got like my tattoos, I only have 6, 12, 13, 14, a couple of 15. I only have like 15. That's just for artistic reason. Can they really say the
That's
same
a
thing about
lot of tattoos. That's not your real skin.
you?
Is
Said that's a
that
lot
your
of
real
tattoos.
skin?
Did Cheryl say 15
Yes.
tattoos? A lot of tattoos?
That's a lot of tattoos.
Half sleeves, chest, ribs. One side of the rib.
That's a lot of tattoos.
All right, well, I'm gonna
Say
have
it
to.
with a sage.
And ladies, okay, hold on real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, on Clubhouse, Cowboys on the stage. Cowboy, what's going on, man?
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
Nothing much,
What
man.
you got going on here, man?
Doing the live stream simulcast. Lapeef, let's talk. We're on the first topic regarding not tattoos. I'm sorry. The first topic was, do you believe we are in a catfish culture? And yes, I got people on YouTube as well. So, Cowboy, do you think we're in a catfish culture? I think we've been in it since social media started.
Man, you know what? I'm gonna have to say yes. And not just from an internet point of view, but like even in real life. You know what I'm saying? Like people are just masked up. You don't know what you're dealing with. I haven't even gotten to women in the makeup, but that might be a different situation.
Yeah, the makeup. You're wearing and I just got you telling. I was telling her if you're talking about 10 pounds of makeup or looking like Harley Quinn to the point where you look like a completely alternate person, yeah, I have a problem with that. That's going to be somewhat catfishing. You need to be wearing some reasonable size of makeup to where I can still recognize you. So yeah, I get that part. Like that's catfish for sure.
Do y'all think that the average woman wears makeup to the point where she looks unlike herself?
Do I think the average woman wear too much makeup? Who do I think
Nah,
that?
that's not what she asked. She asked if that is the average woman wearing makeup in a way where she looks like herself. In other words, she looks like who she really is.
No, she
In
looks
other words,
like
wearing
she's
makeup the way
somebody
she's
else.
supposed to.
She doesn't. She doesn't look like herself.
No, she said she doesn't look like it.
Oh, does it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I think today, I think the average woman doesn't look like who she really is with her makeup on. I think she could rob a bank, run out the bank, wash the makeup off, and walk past the cops.
What you think about that, Sherelle? Do you agree or disagree?
I think that's cap.
You think that's
I think that's cap. You think I could do a crime, take off my makeup, walk across the police, and then the police be like, "Oh, that's a different woman." Hell no.
But Sherelle, here's the thing.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Y'all need to get off the internet.
Sherelle, hold on. But here's the thing. See, because you just put yourself. Knowing you and the rare times you do cam up, what I'm seeing your avatar right now is the same person I see when she turns on the camera. And I don't think you wore makeup. Maybe you did it one time, but I knew who you were. I could recognize you. But the people that you're defending at times, like I said, they look like Krusty the Clown. I'm telling you, I would not exaggerate that at all. Like, there's no way, shape, and form that I think I can identify you as a light skinned woman and one day you darker than me.
I don't know, but is that the average woman? Don't get me wrong. There are women on here who do the drag looks or whatever, but in the extreme makeup on the internet because they get paid for it. They get paid a lot of money for it. It's a lot of money in the makeup industry. Like I know somebody personally who became a multi-millionaire from this. So it's a lot of money in the makeup industry. So I definitely know that there are people who push that. But just on the everyday, when you're at Walmart, you're at Kmart, you at Family Dollar, you at Burger King, McDonald's, you at work, you know what I'm saying? Like on your regular day basis, are you seeing women look like they jumped out? Like it called glam, like a full face of glam is like almost a $200 look. So it's like, do you honestly think that the majority of women are doing that on a consistent basis?
Well, you're talking about $200 look. You're talking now. I'm thinking you're talking about a professional because if you want to go that
And then
route.
it's like, I mean, I get the contouring thing.
It's not a $200 look.
I don't even know if
She's
people,
playing up the ignorance. As
I
long as
don't
the
even
woman
know if
knows
people
how to
contour
apply the
as much.
makeup,
Right,
and,
because
Wait,
she doesn't have to spend $200 to make a face look like a face that's not hers.
because no, that's what I was getting at. Because Sherelle's from the South. She knows that you don't need no $200 look for all that. Matter of fact, you can through time you can do that.
but I just feel
Penny for
like,
that.
but maybe y'all just don't understand makeup because I feel like makeup doesn't
Oh, it's not
change
my
your.
job to trust me when I
I'm
say
not. I get it.
I'm asking
I get it.
questions.
Right.
Go ahead.
But it's like it doesn't change. Like I've had a man on here say like, "Oh, you wear a lot." It's like all I if I put on makeup, all I wear is concealer, highlighter, lipstick, eyeliner, and I do lashes. But you have nobody on the internet has ever seen me with foundation, ever seen me with a full face glam because I never do it because I don't have to, and it's too much, right? So the point is, it's just like men don't understand it. So, but from being a woman and me understanding makeup, I know that majority of women aren't in drag makeup on a consistent basis. See what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
most of them are just trying to, most of
and
them
that's
are
the
just trying
problem.
to cover up like a
That's
dark spot or some acne scar, like you know what I'm saying, look shiny or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But then you do have the ones who can contour themselves, and that's when you can like play with your bone structure, but most women don't know how to change the bone structure, and that's be catfishy right there. When you can change the bone structure with your makeup, that is catfishy.
Okay, because I thought, like I said, when I say catfish, I take about it. I take
But that's
everything into
contour. You
consideration.
get it? So
Hmm?
like foundation is what you put on to clear your skin. So if I have dark spots or I have discoloration, you put on foundation.
Gotcha.
Concealer is to conceal like dark mark scars, or if you want to light up around your eyes. For you put your eyeshadow. The eyeshadow and the blush.
Shroud. You're my
No,
dog,
I
and I.
get it. I get it. I get it.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
want
I
to know
mean,
that. But
one
what
thing
I'm
we will
saying is
not
the
do.
contour is what changes your bone structure. And a
Gotcha,
lot of
gotcha.
people don't know how to contour.
Right on, right on, right on. I will definitely bring that up to my wife. I'll make sure I replay this for her. She could talk to me all about that, but we ain't about to have no makeup tutorial, not tonight. Some other
I
night.
get it. I get it.
Let's get to the second topic. Anybody in the chat, do not be afraid to pull up. The link is up top. You could join Sherelle on camera on the panel. If you want to do it through Clubhouse, you want to do IG Live, go right ahead. Like I said, we're simulcast tonight. Second topic, how brainwashing works. Like I said, that video that JR put could still confuse me to this day. I know they try to make some sense of it, but I'm going to give you guys a simpler way to understand how brainwashing still works. What does somebody, I'll use me as an example. Ladies and gentlemen, because of inflation or whatever the case may be, I need to make a certain amount of dollars a month. Like I said, I don't need six figures. I just need to make a certain amount. Now, for me to get there, and since my job knows that I need the money, they say, here, you could work these many hours and these many days if you really want to achieve the money. It's up to you. And I sit there, I think about it for not that long. Is like, hey, I need to make X amount of dollars because I got to pay all these bills, and whatever the case may be. They were able to manipulate me so I can achieve my goal by doing something for them. That's a form of brainwashing. I know that's going to be a little bit hard for people to get because, like I said, that video that was played online, I thought that was more so a what's what I'm looking for? Hiring discrimination. I don't. That's why I was having trouble finding the correlation of that video. But brainwashing works by you have to study somebody's weakness or their wants, and you have to make sure you can manipulate that into a goal for them to achieve by so they can what's what I'm looking for. So you can get your task done. I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine, basically. That's how manipulation works in 2023. Matter of fact, that's how the manipulation been working since the beginning of time. But does anybody in the chat, Sherelle, Cowboy, do you have any thoughts about how brainwashing works in 2023? Because I think it's just plain old manipulation, nothing more than that.
Okay, I'll go. So brainwashing is just the programming of your mind. I think manipulation and brainwashing isn't the same thing. Brainwashing is your parents raising you to be Christians from the day that you're born, or making you believe in a concept that's technically unnatural to you, but programming your brain to believe in some ideology that they want you to believe. That would be brainwashing. Just like when somebody joins a cult or something, it's basically just taking your mind, washing what you know, and putting in new information for you to believe in. And yeah, people have to be manipulated into that, but I think it goes so much further than manipulation. But that's what brainwashing is to me, anyway.
Okay, I could agree with that as well. Cowboy, what you got? I probably step away, but yeah, and
No,
that. Oh, go ahead.
I'm playing a game of chess. Yeah, I mean, brainwashing. I'm gonna tell you the truth, brother. You know, I don't know too much about brainwashing as an adult. You know, I always think about something that happens along the lines of when with the children when people are being raised. You know, indoctrination. You know, but if you're grown, I don't understand how brainwashing happens. So that's kind of where I'm at with that.
Yeah, no one can force you. Yeah, no one can really force you to do anything that you don't want to do anyway, especially as an adult. So I think that's for the undeveloped minds, children, whatever the case may be. But like I said, it depending on the situation. People say my situation is kind of brainwashy. I don't think if it is what it is. Whatever task my job needs me to do is not too difficult. As some of you guys know, some of y'all see me um, Clubhouse while I work. Some of y'all see me live stream, hop on other people's channel when I work. But that's brainwashing. It is what it is. What it is. My bills are paid for, and I'm not homeless. So I get what you guys are saying. I appreciate that. And before we get to the next topic, I'm gonna update with the Keeping It 100. It is March. We do support Black-owned businesses. I spent This is where I spend $100 with any business owner, Black-owned. If you have any suggestions, please email it to me, DM me. I would like to look more into it, read about it, and spread the word and spend some money. For month of January, realclothing.com gets $100. I'm wearing some of the clothing to the Bun B concert later on this evening. February, I'm a little bit disappointed in the Marathon store because they haven't processed the order. I'm gonna give them two more. I don't know more. I'm gonna give them 2 more weeks. If not, unfortunately, I'm about to do a refund, but I'm gonna send that money to another Black-owned business. I'm gonna give them a break for whatever reason. Then I'm gonna send it to a Black-owned business. March, I haven't really found a company yet. I'm still working on that. If you guys own a if you guys are Black business owners or you know someone who is, and you want me to spend $100 on the products, please let me know. It's an initiative I've been doing since the beginning of the year. I'm gonna do it all the way to the end of this year. Then when next year comes, I'm gonna kick the price up to either 150 or $200. That's
I mean, you
so
couldn't buy nothing from me, but I own a Black business. You could just donate it. And I got a brother and a sister, and they own businesses too. So.
and they own businesses. You is something else. I'm not
No,
about to
I'm
play.
serious. I own my own trucking business, but you can't necessarily get anything from it. I mean, you could order a truckload of stuff, but
Where am I
that's
going to put it?
really expensive, more than $100. Huh? Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So that's why I said it would be hard to do it for me. But my sister, she designs stuff like T-shirts, cups, mugs, stuff like that. She does like lamination and stuff. And then my
Mm,
brother sells edibles.
edibles.
So,
Okay. What's your sister's store name and whatchamacallit?
I'm gonna send it to you because I trust you, but I'm not about to dox my sister and my brother on
Oh, okay.
here
All
because
right.
people hate me. You forgot.
No problems. No problems. We'll talk later. I'll definitely look into it. And after we get to this next two topics, I do have a public services announcement. There was some drama that happened on Aaron's show the other night. I'm gonna briefly speak on it. Some of you guys. Well, we'll get to that to the PSA because I don't want to dive deep into it because it might go somewhere else. Let's get to the third topic. Can an open relationship fix? Excuse me. Can an open relationship help fix a relationship? Can an open relationship help fix a relationship? I'll give you guys a quick answer. The answer is no. The answer is clearly no. And let me make sure I'm looking at the camera when I say this. Actually, I got two cameras I got to look at. I'm only talking about monogamous relationship. I'm not talking about anything past polygamy. There are multiple options to fix a relationship. Adding a third person into the bed is not one of them. It's like smoking a cigarette because you're stressed out. The problem's still going to be there once you're finished smoking. Find a sustainable solution before you make the matters worse, and it's going to be irreversible. Now, what's this chick's name? Roya, who was on the panel. She is a expert polygamist, I guess. Oh no, excuse me, polyamorous. I don't know. It's expert poly, and whatever the case may be, she's pro poly. and whatever the case may be, she wants to say poly can actually save a relationship. I disagree with that. That woman in their sleep is disagree with that. There's nothing you can nobody can ever make it make sense. Like if me and my wife were beefing and we just got finished beefing maybe last month, what was beefing now, I'll tell you guys never. We got them beefing. What's the third person gonna do as far as getting in our bed? Like I said, it might do something for the moment, although me and her don't get down like that. It's just we committed to each other. You add a person, bust it down, then what? The problem's still there. There's gonna be communication
Right.
problems.
That's crazy.
One person's gonna get on the other person's nerves. You guys cannot justify a reason to bring a third person into a monogamous situation. If I say I'm committed to you, that means everybody needs to stay out. So we're not gonna even. I'm not even gonna jump into that foolishness. Eve said she's single by choice. Bruiser said you're single by bad choices. I agree, ladies. You need to stop saying that. Just say you're single, and when the opportunity comes, you're gonna take advantage of it. Say something besides you're single by choice, because we all know that's full of shit. You need to find something else to say. Now, Precious said the man is the prize. Ladies and gentlemen, I sent a super chat of why the man is the prize. Men are taking the most risk. Men are going to get the lion's share of the consequences if anything goes south, not the woman. And I think it's real bitch made for a man to blame the woman or make sure she takes any responsibility or whatever the case may be. So with that being stated, that's why the man is the prize. It's real short and simple. I don't want to give anybody any word salad, but Cheryl, you was going to say something. What was that?
I don't think that it will help. I don't think that there's any woman that's actually happy with sharing her man is because jealousy and envy is like deadly sins for a reason or whatever. People are like people are envious, people are jealous. I don't think that you can be in love with people at one time. I don't think you can treat people fairly or just across the board. It's a hierarchy, and you're gonna have your favorites. It is what it is or whatever. So I think that marriage, when it was like a open thing where you can have three or four wives, I think that was more about survival and a man of means being able to take care of multiple wives. Well, I guess in the beginning it really was like if a woman's husband died, somebody had to marry her because they didn't really have a lot of jobs for women after they wasn't virgins. So if her husband died, then what I'm saying, somebody's gonna make her the second wife to make sure that she's good in life and make sure she's straight. Because other than that, she'd probably just be like prostituting or whatever. So it was reasons for people to have multiple wives, and I'm pretty sure there are now or whatever. But I think that marriage is a union between two people, becoming one flesh. And like if that's what it's based off, then how could you add something else to what's supposed to be one? If me and my husband come together, we become one. Adding something into that is not going to make it better. It might make you feel good, but I don't think that it'll make it better in the long run. It's like saying like, "Oh, I'm sad, so I'm gonna smoke crack." I mean, crack makes you feel good. I'm sure you get it in the
Mm,
moment, but it
And
might ruin your life and your teeth and your health. But
and that's why I brought up the analogy about the cigarette, because see, people smoke to burn out some stress. That's fine. The problem's still gonna be there once you're done smoking. So let's get to the real solution, something that's actually going to work. And Mufasa said, I say yes, it could help. And he also said, in response to Sorrel, kids are envious and jealous. Who cares? Um, yeah, like I said, when I answered the question, I wasn't really talking. When I responded to this question, I wasn't talking about anything past monogamy. I respect polygamy. I don't. I have my own opinions about polygamy, but now just from the monogamous tip, there's no way, because who says like I said, I don't share. I know damn sure she don't get down like that. She's not part of the LGBTQIA community. So if one thing, and I guess that's the thing that Anton was harping on, like when it comes to actually finding solutions for the community, we're just focusing on something that makes us feel better versus something that is better. Busting down a chick is not going to do nothing. That was my issue with it. Now, Eve. Now, oh Lord, Eve. Oh yeah, and I'll say this about Eve. She had a better week. Although there's some things I disagree with her today, nothing compared to last week. So I'm not gonna bring up her alcoholic. I had one too many drinks moments from last week. But she said both men and women are the prizes. No, they're not. And also, she doesn't like the word control. Sherelle, I should ask you this: why do you have a problem with the word control?
What's the word?
Control.
Control.
Hmm.
Mm-mm.
Why do women and I'm gonna ask Cowboy this as well. Why do women have a problem with that word? Especially since they're gonna be taken care of by the man that is controlling them. Why do they have a problem with that word?
I think control kind of like makes you feel weak, and women don't like to feel weak. I think that women I think femininity and womanhood from birth is weaponized as and it's shown as weakness, so that women like kind of turn it around. And then the last time, like the most we know from what control and who has control over us, it's always been us being in this child state, and then the adults around us had control of us. Our mom and daddy, grandma, teachers, or whatever had control over us. And then when we get to an adult stage, we kind of feel like it's our turn to be in control of something. And when you get that type of power, you necessarily don't want to relinquish it. That's what I
But
think.
and hold on before I say anything, Cowboy. Why do women have trouble with this word control?
Uh, I mean, I think it's kind of obvious. You know what I mean? But they, women don't. I don't think women like to be. I think they have control issues, to tell you the truth. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think that we've seen that through history. You know, when women, get in a position of control, they usually can't even control themselves because they're just not used to it. And so the idea, especially in nowadays, today, the idea of anyone being in control of them, is just out of the question. Now, unfortunately, our women don't mind being under the control of white men, but they do mind being under control of a black man. That's just kind of wholesale. That's a general statement.
Yeah, and we're gonna. That's definitely one of the things I'm gonna tell brothers to divest from. You see a woman that's solely relying on government assistance, uh, solely dependent on government assistance. That's not the woman you want to invest in. And speaking of government assistance, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna address a little podcast towards the end because I don't like how whatchamacallit went down last night. Big Mufasa says, "Who likes to be controlled, men or women? Who are controlled? I mean, you are controlled by force."
I think people can be controlled in different ways. I think sometimes women can control men, and I think men can control women. And I think both parties like control naturally. And I think nobody wants to be controlled naturally. I think naturally we would all do whatever we wanted to do, whenever we wanted to do it, how we wanted to do it, if we had the freedom to do that. But most of us are logical and smart enough to understand that we have to submit to some type of hierarchy and some type of order to have, decent lives.
Well, And I miss the days when JR dropped a link in the chat and people from the audience can pull up and get their shit off. I probably would have definitely in a better situation now than the last two times I did it. I would have came on there and said, look, if I'm protecting you physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and financially, you're going to be okay if I have a little control over you. Now, and the thing is, one of the key components that I think all women should have is discernment. So that way, while she's in my boundaries, and I create a big enough of boundaries for my wife, so she doesn't feel like I'm controller. She has full range to do whatever as long as she doesn't cross a certain line because I'm protecting her. I don't think Eve have ever experienced that type of level of protection, and whatever her issue with this control word is going to hinder her from getting a situation that she actually should be in. Ladies, get rid of this negative stigma that you have on this word control, because that's actually going to hold y'all back more ways than one. And I don't know how this conversation diverted, but it led to a comment that Anton said, when women goes through traumas, it leaves them broken. That goes back to battle scars that I talked about months ago. Ladies, everybody goes through battle scars. Don't pay attention to what Royal was talking about in that segment, because I'm under the impression she doesn't know what she's talking about. And I'll prove that in a minute. When we all go through battle scars, the side effects or the side effects of a battle scars is different for men and women. For men, it makes them more masculine, it makes them more durable, whatever the case may be. Women, because of what you possess, it leaves you slightly compromised emotionally, mentally, and that affects everywhere else. That's why a lot of cases, like, for example, let's say going to work or the hours you put in. And I'm speaking to the general, not the exception. A woman working 65 hours a week is going to affect her, because working 40-hour weeks affect her already. If a man works 40 to 65 hours a week, it's nothing to them. They can handle it. They can deal with it. They're built for that. Women are not built for that. They can do it. No one's stopping them from doing it. But the effect of that is they're more tired, they're more stressful, they're more in a negative situation, and that touches everybody when they go home. And they do this day in and day out. Those are called battle scars, internal battle scars, and that always leaves women broken. Now, and if you guys want to jump in anytime, go right ahead. Now, we all hear this, before we get to the final topic, we all hear this saying that women are going to die alone. A certain group of women are going to die alone. Here's why I don't have faith in Roya. She says everyone dies alone, men die sooner. Is that dumb shit? Here's the thing. Are you willing to go all of your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s by yourself? Seriously. You mean to tell me you're going to go through 5 different decades by yourself without having that one man who is going to protect you, care for you, be there for you all 50 plus years? Why does a woman not want to sign up for that? Why are they okay with dying, being alone, dying, hopping around from dick to dick to dick, changing out batteries for each vibrator, just because of, I guess, not being under the covering of a man? What is the negative stigma? I think what it is, there's a negative stigma for women these days to be taken care of by men. Cowboy, do you feel like that's what's been going on these days?
In America, absolutely. Yeah, women in this country, they would rather be the Tracy Ellis Ross. You know what I mean? They would rather live that kind of lifestyle. And, that's what's promoted. That's what's promoted by this country. But, Tracy Ellis Ross is born into money. Mm-hmm. Technically, that woman never had to work, but she did work, and she actually has a talent. And so she's able to make money from that. You see what I mean? And realistically, the average woman, and most women are going to be average earning. They're not going to be able to stack that money. I don't care how many degrees you have, and not everybody doesn't get to go just because you did the hard work. And so they won't be able to stack that money on their own. And so they'll fall onto the government. And we've seen in other countries, how that's affecting the government, because they're just like, we don't have the money to take care of you because you didn't plan and you have no kids and there's nobody to take care of you. It's just you. Now nobody cares when a man dies on the side of the road, because he couldn't take care of himself. But, these women will be marching up to Washington, talking about we need more welfare and all this other stuff because they didn't plan. And that's just not going to happen because it's not going to be feasible. You know what I'm saying? And so not every woman can be married because women outnumber men. But at the same time, the increase of women that just, have this attitude that they don't need a man at all, they'll find out later on.
And that's what's been going on. Sure, you've been seeing the same thing, just like, and granted, you and I frequent a lot of the same panels, so we see it in the comment sections about how women feel like they don't need a man. Like, do women really shame other women that has a man, A, and B, is being taken care of by a man?
No. I think genuinely women, like if a woman has a good man and she's been taken care of by her man, people gonna feel like she's winning. Genuinely, right? I think it's when the other things come. So then when it seems like that woman can't have a life, or she's being cheated on or abused, or it just seeming like she's not being treated fairly in her marriage, where people kind of be like, it might not be worth the ticket. It might not be worth the thing. And I think that sometimes people project their negative situations onto other people, right? So like what I could say is that, like, we know that black women get married more than black men, but black men stay married more. And they remarry more or whatever. So it's like, it's because if marriage didn't work out for me, I'll tell my nieces and my nephews and my female cousins and my daughter that marriage didn't work out for me, so that they shouldn't do it, right? And it's like, it's not necessarily the women that are single who will really do the most projecting. It's the women that got divorced or the women that was in marriages who take their negative thing and then they pass it on to, like, well, marriage was a waste of time for me, girl, just skip it. Like, as a woman who don't have no kids, the most people who tell me don't have kids are people with kids. When I say I don't have kids in a group of baby mamas, whether they're married or not, or whatever, women with children, their response is going to be like, oh, girl, thank the Lord, girl. Wait, girl. Don't have no kids, girl. If you want to have a kid, you could borrow one of mine. It's like, and they make it seem like it's the worst thing in the world. So it's like, it's not me, the single woman with no kids, projecting. It's these people with their trauma passing their trauma on to me, making me feel like, oh, okay, so yeah, like, y'all are not glorifying the situation that y'all are in, so maybe I shouldn't even get in there in the first place.
Well, the fact that you don't have a child right now, and the fact that you're not a baby mama is a great thing. So I would say definitely whatever path you're doing right now, do that and make sure that when it's time for you to have a child, you have with somebody that you know is gonna be right there by your side. So I say whatever you're doing, keep down that path. Hopefully no one sway you to be like, girl, when you gonna bring me some grandkids, or when you gonna start having some children, or whatever the case would be, because I know you get that uh cue
No,
often, gets
I don't
that.
know my. I don't know if my crazy people tell me that, but and my parents are not that way. And
Oh
my
yeah, yeah.
parents have a lot of I have a lot of siblings, so the grandkids are there, regardless if I have them or not. They're already there. I'm a great great aunt, so like my nephew has a daughter who his daughter has a son, so um we good in that department, I think. But okay, let's say like even like Diddy, right? Diddy's not married to nobody, but he takes good care of the women. He has a rotation of women. He takes care of the women. If you look in the comments, majority of those women are like, I want to be on Diddy's team. I want that. So when we look at it, like we look at a woman like, say Rita, Anton's wife. Rita is, she has won. She has hit a unobtainable lottery with having a man that loves her, respects her, cares for her, takes care of her. There is no woman in her right mind who wouldn't say, I want to be in that position. And, and if a woman is saying that that's not the position that she would want, it's probably because she has some type of trauma or mental scar from some man that hurt her, or she's believing in somebody's indoctrination of, because sometimes it's not even about who hurt you. Sometimes it's about who hurt your auntie, mom, or cousin, friend who sat at a round table and told you, girl, don't trust these men. You better have a job because they leave you and they leave you with nothing. And then they pass they fears on to you. So when you go into a situation, you automatically thinking this ain't gonna work. And that's a bad way to go into anything.
And we was talking about that on Clubhouse earlier today because we had the title of "Buy the Cow" because the milk is not for free. One of the things that was brought up is we gotta there's a bad marketing plan for marriage, for good parenting, and that type of stuff. And we just need to find a way to fix that and just have better representation out there. Like I shouldn't be. I always tell people I'm in the winner circle by myself. What it seems like, but what they did tell me is you got to find a way to market marriage better, being a parent better. So I think just too many bad representatives out there that's messing it up for everybody. But that's just what's up. Who's that? Is that who I think it is, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, Latoya, what's up? Talk to me.
Hello, I just want to ask a quick question. They say that it's more women than men, so chances are that some women won't get married. So why? It's like it's a pushback for women to be able to be self-sufficient and take care of herself by paying bills, living a normal life until her husband finds her. Because how do you know which woman you are? The one that's not going to be married or the one that's going to be married. So a smart woman would educate herself and get a career that she can provide for herself until she attains a husband or something. So I don't know why it's a pushback for women being in a position to take care of themselves until their husband come, if they get one. Because y'all say everyone's not going to be married, so.
No, and that's.
Well, there's a couple of issues with that. First, there's never been a pushback against women being able to take care of themselves. That's called being an adult. You know what I mean? The other issue is the idea that you're going to wait around and a man's going to somehow find you. Like he's going to be, moving stones around and he's going to be like, oh, shit, I found one, right? And it's like, you should be making some kind of active movements, to find a man, because that's the other ethnicities, that's what they do. They don't just, put their head down and go to work and go to school and think a man's going to magically show up. That happens. That's the movies, you know. But in real life, you know, you're going to have to put in some work, right? But the reality is, most of the professions that women choose, they're not going to carry you through retirement. It's just not, you know. And a lot of the times, you know, in our community, our business sense or our sense of budgeting is very poor. We don't understand money, you know. So, you know, a lot of times sisters, they go to college, they got all this student loan debt, and they're like, screw that student loan debt. You know what I'm saying? And when they finally get a good job, they go get the baby Benz, they get the house. You know, it's debt on top of debt on top of debt. You know what I mean? And so even at that point in time, when you find a man who knows better, he's going to be looking at this debt, and he's going to know that all of a sudden he's going to be responsible for this, you know? So we're not moving in the right way financially, you know? And so if this woman ends up staying single with all this debt, you know what's going to happen to her? You know what I mean? So we have to be realistic. And that's, therein I think is the pushback in the issue, is that most women are not going to be able to sustain, you know, into retirement without a man. But at the same time, you guys not out there looking for a man. Like we're just not needed.
Well, I got no pushback with what Cowboy just said. But let's say I do hope that does answer your question. And also, I think you guys are really focusing on your preferences a little bit too much when it comes to dating and looking for marriage. Because you're right, there's more women in the U.S., but there's slightly more men worldwide. You guys just might need to take a page out of Passport Bros book and go find your husband overseas. Because a lot of people.
How's that going to work, brother?
I'm just offering a suggestion.
American women, man, you already have problem with submission and control, and those men overseas in the old countries, you know, they control for real. You know, these women are complaining about stuff that ain't real, man. Okay, send them on overseas.
They gonna come back. They gonna fly back. Tears in the eyes, remorse, like we is sorry. Like we try to warn you, but I'm just trying to offer a suggestion. But let's get to the. Go ahead, Latoya.
No, I don't know. I was raised in Chicago, Illinois.
What's up with all you Chicagoans? Y'all just everywhere. Jesus Christ.
Talk to me. It used to be the New Yorkers. Now I speak from Chicago. Latoya, you went up though.
Latoya, you there? She might have got a phone call.
Yeah, I agree with some of your stuff y'all said, but just like, you know, some of these American men don't seem like they want to be married though. Or if they do decide they want to get married in their 40s or, you know, around that area, they want a 25-year-old woman. There's nothing wrong with that either, but I'm just saying.
I think women, personally, Latoya, I really think that women need to hurry up and get married in their 20s. Even if that is to a older man. And also, y'all gonna have to define to me, what do you mean by older? Like, I don't really see too many older women getting married to younger men compared to the other way around, because I see it as a norm. Hell, my mom and dad are 9 years apart, and they were married for 12 of those years. So you ladies, now, like I said, you have your preferences, but you need to stop putting all your eggs in one basket regarding to that. You need to stick to your standards, find your non-negotiables in a man. And then once you line that out, you can go ahead and filter through which man you will want to be with for whatever your preferential treatment is after that. But make sure your standards are down pat, because I promise y'all, most of y'all, and where's my camera? Let me say right here. Ladies, I'm going to keep it above. your husband done passed you several different times and you just didn't catch him for whatever reason.
What's the detail? How is that?
Because
you thought he was a lame, you thought he was boring, and you passed him up. And that lame and that boring dude is what you need. You went for the exciting guy. But where's he at right now?
Because ladies, you guys always ask the question, where's all the good men at? They're with the good women. They found their woman. They found, out of all the options that they had, they found her and they got out the market. So ladies, your husband done passed you up several different times. So I would say you guys really just need to focus on right now. Just focus on, because I said this in the marriage series, in the part 1 of the marriage series. Know your strengths, know your weaknesses, know your role. Then once you got that established, create your spouse. How do you want your spouse to be? Like I said, focus on the non-negotiables first, then get to your preferences. Then the 5th option is research your spouse. Who, what, when, where, how, and why. Once you get all that figured out about where your spouse is at and how to approach him, or in the case of you, Latoya, how he's supposed to approach you, you're out of here. I don't know your status, by the way, so that's why I'm just talking the way I'm talking. But he will find you, he'll snatch you up, and you guys are gone. Happily ever after.
Like my current boyfriend, like he's in his purpose. He's working on something financially, and he want to build. He want to be able to just do that. So he wants to wait for marriage until he can provide a home and different things like that. Mm-hmm. But I guess that's the right way to do it.
But I hear a but coming.
No, I'm just saying I understand what he's doing, but I have a home and things already. I have those things already, but he wants to buy a new house and be where he want to be financially and all those things.
Okay.
So he could be a provider and all that.
Nothing's wrong with that. Nothing's wrong with that. And well, I'm not gonna ask those questions right now because that's a conversation we can have another day. But yeah, hopefully. Well, like I said, we'll talk about that later. I'm not gonna do that. Let's get to the last one. Does cheating come with success? Does cheating come with success? They use the example of allegedly Steph and Aisha open relationship. They debunked that last year or the year before that. I don't believe in that bullshit. But let's just use success as an example. Me personally, now fellas, I'm not a simp. You guys know me better than that. The answer is yes and no. Believe it or not. And the reason why the answer is yes and no is simple, because yes, cheating, no, the opportunity to cheat comes with success. The opportunity to cheat comes with success, but it's your decision if that's what you want to do. It ultimately comes down to the man. Is this the road you want to go down? Me personally, obviously, like I said, I've been married. I'm not cheating on my wife. I don't get down like that. And as good as I am doing now, the options have presented itself. And obviously, I didn't partake in any of that because the way I tell these women, y'all had your opportunity 9.5 years ago. You elected to go do your own thing, which is perfectly fine, because that opened the room for God to bless me with who I'm with right now. So, like I said, the opportunity has been there for me. I elected not to do it. I'm just disciplined not to do it. So, and also, but for those who do, for the men, who decides to exercise the option. Bruiser said this: women can't dictate if a man cheats because the women are not as valuable compared to the previous day. Like they're not virgins, they got too many bodies on them, so they can't really dictate if a man can cheat or not. I personally, I'm not gonna touch that. I don't. Bruiser has just been Bruiser. Um,
I won't speak on it.
Go ahead.
Well, the man can go and cheat, but that woman's value may not be as valuable as the woman you got at home. So if you risk losing her for another woman, you may want to make sure she's of equal value or more. Because it's going to be his loss. Because every woman don't take you back. Some men think if they cheat on you, that you're going to take them back. They think they'll allow you to get away with it. And some women will not. And you might lose a very valuable woman for a 3-minute thrill. So you got to be careful about that. That's all I'm going to say about that. Well, my uncle used to say sometimes cheating can make a relationship strong, but you never know. You never know.
Can you elaborate on that one? Although I highly disagree. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, cheating can make a relationship stronger?
Yeah, because I think that there's some people who might disagree with that.
That was my uncle's opinion because just used to, like if somebody cheat, I guess if y'all work harder to mend the relationship, y'all grow closer, y'all work on trust, you work on why it happened. You know, people open up, they start telling the truth for what caused it to go down. I guess you could become more open. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, I just agree.
No worries, no worries. Big Bad Bull said in the chat, folks cheat regardless of their success level. If it's in their character to cheat, yeah. I agree. I know people who is not on my level, even close, and they're allegedly they're dogging their women out. So it really don't matter. Cheating is going to be everywhere. The question is, what are you going to do? That's why it's easy for me, even where I'm at right now. It's still easy for me not to cheat. Granted, I try to avoid temptation as much as possible, but yeah, it's everywhere. Now, real quick. Oh, and I'm gonna answer this. Anton asked a question: what is more important, being honest with somebody regarding cheating, or being a representation for what your kids want to be? Sure. What's your answer on that? I'm pretty sure I already know it though.
Me? Did success come with cheating?
Yeah. What's more important? Being honest with somebody regarding if you're gonna cheat or not, or just being brutally honest, or being a representation for your kids, or in your case, your nieces, your nephews, your cousins, and that type of stuff.
I think people should be honest. Honestly.
Really?
I think the problem with society is that we lie too much about everything. Like even the concept of let kids be kids, and we let kids believe in Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy, and we just make so much stuff up and just lie, and we just never prepare people for the real life. So like my daddy's real blunt, and I think I have a more realistic approach on life because he didn't really make up stuff, fairy tales, and not tell us the truth. And just because somebody's not trying to spare your feelings all the time, it doesn't mean that they don't love you or they don't care about you. To be honest, people made up in their mind that lying to people, you lie to people because you care about them or you care about their feelings. But sometimes your feelings have to get hurt because you need to know the truth. And if understanding the truth makes you grow, but it gives you a better outlook on life so that you can thrive in the real world. And though people who love you, they tell you the truth. People who love you, they give you the real world. They give you the real deal because we know that life isn't a fairy tale. It's not cookie cutter. It's not all sprinkles and rainbows, So I think that honesty really is key because I wouldn't, like with my niece when she graduated high school, and she was like, if my plan goes perfect, then I'll be this, 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 and I'm like, your plan's not gonna go perfect. You're gonna fail. You're gonna bump your head. The realistic thing is to understand that life has its ups and downs, but as long as you wake up every day, God's giving you another chance to take another shot. So you wake up, you start over. As long as you master the art of being able to start over and not give up on yourself, even if sometimes you have to take breaks, then that's how you learn how to master life. But I wouldn't give you an unrealistic view that everything is going to go as you plan, because when you sell somebody a dream and they believe in it, and then you realize that, dreams don't always come true,
Right.
kind of warps their reality and puts them in a very disappointed thing. So I think honesty is really more important.
Okay. Okay. All right. I can accept that. Let me switch over to Clubhouse. Cowboy, let's say I'm gonna ask y'all the question: which one is better, being brutally honest or being a representation of what you want your kids to be?
Dude, you know me, man. It's all about being brutally honest, man.
Facts.
You know what I mean? I don't believe in what my grandfather calls, chasing the devil around the bush and, bullshit. And I just, like, I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I expect people to be with me. I don't do it seems like some people like to, they have a weakness and they're too worried about how people think about them. You know what I'm saying? And they kind of just don't tell the truth, Dealing with women like to make things more complicated than they are. So even when you speak directly and straightforward and you're brutally honest, they always try to read something else. They be trying to quote unquote read between the lines, which it's just like that. It just irritates the hell out of me because that's kind of not how the English language was designed. It's like it's a statement, not a legal term. You know what I'm saying? So anyhow, yeah, being brutally honest is the best way to go. I think if people were honest just around the board, then there'd be less conflict, in general.
All right. Trust me, honestly, I kind of figured that would be your answer. So, yeah, for those who don't know on YouTube, I do have a Clubhouse team. I also have a YouTube growing YouTube team as well. Cowboy is more the enforcer of our group, while people tend to be just politically correct. Cowboy's the one that's going to say, fuck that, here's what's going on. So, yeah, that's the type of person I have on my team because he'll even check me if he has to. Yeah. And that's one thing I always tell people. Don't always have a bunch of yes men on your team. Make sure you have people that's gonna be there and tell you no, or this ain't it. Like I always tell people, when it came to the Kanye West situation, I had my thoughts on about it. Damn near nobody on my team. No, fuck that. Nobody on my team was on my side regarding Kanye. Matter of fact, I don't think anybody on Clubhouse, maybe 1.5% agreed with me regarding Kanye. Everybody else, including my own team, said no, which I can respect because, like I said, you can't have yes men on your team. You gotta have people that could speak for themselves and speak to you. They need to. But appreciate that, Cowboy. Latoya, you still with us? Latoya is not. And for those in the chat, appreciate you guys for coming in. Y'all want to pull up, you're more than welcome to. And one last thing, Rhea asked the question: is a monogamous relationship realistic? Is monogamy realistic? Meaning, can a man can be sexually satisfied with one woman for the rest of his life? She said She asked, "Is being monogamous realistic?" Anton said yes. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm saying yes. It's very much realistic. It's just the simple fact that, and this is where the man on the team, the man on that panel, really pissed me off, which led me to play this. Well, it let me play this sound earlier. Where is it?
Look, after this conversation right now, the black woman is God. Fucking retard.
Shut up, Logic. Shut up, Logic.
And although I really do respect Mr. Let Go and Bruiser, fellas, I'm sorry, but
you are stupid. You are stupid. And don't forget, you are stupid.
See, the one thing I have a problem with the men these days is they're too inclusive. They want to cater to everybody. They want to be equal to everybody. They don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. And that's why often I'm made looking like the bad guy. Anton's looking like the bad guy. Cowboy as well. We all look like we're just angry black men or whatever the case may be. Look, there's a problem in the community, and we're talking about introducing polygamy or some type of poly lifestyle. And that's why Anton was going on off on this topic. Does cheating come with success and all this other stuff? I was like, well, number one, if you're cheating, that means you're not to be trusted, and it's hard for you to trust you in any other categories elsewhere regarding regarding your personal life, regarding your business life, and that type of stuff. And when Roya brought up that thing about being monogamous, how it's impossible, you need to add more partners. Why do we need to add more partners into a situation that's not working? What is these other partners going to do but make it worse? To more complicate the situation even more.
And
That's
then
go
sorry.
ahead, go ahead,
Another
Cheryl.
thing is just like we keep trying to pass off my polygamy for men who are just whoremongering.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a difference between a polygamist and a whoremonger.
Right.
Polygamous men understand that if I have one wife, I have to treat all of my wives as equal. I have to support them all as equals. I legitimize them all as equals, correct? A whoremonger just wants to have sex with plenty women. And that, a whoremonger, that is problematic. And a man who is a whoremonger will is an unfocused man and will have like bad situations, make bad decisions because he's unfocused. Because if he's a whoremonger, then he's letting his bottom half control him more than he's allowing his top half to control him. He's letting nature, just bare nature, control him. When he's a man, you're a man. You have a mind, so you are bigger than your nature. You're more important than your nature. You you are so much more than just your biology. You're not an animal. You're a man. Just like the moment when somebody cuts you off in traffic and you want to ram your car into theirs and push them off the road, but in your natural instinct, right? Biology says, I'm angry, rage, hurt people. But as a man, mentally, you overcome it. So, yeah, I don't think that people should ever get that. Like, polygamy is one thing, whoremongering is another. And I think that's the issue. It's like people can't even get one situation right. They're not even married one
Right.
time and they want four wives. And hey, PJ.
PJ, Latoya outside. Let me just answer this question real quick. PJ asked, "Didn't polygamy come before monogamy historically?" Honest question. If we have to go back to the Bible days, I'm going to say monogamy came first. But like I said, that's a real good question. I'm going to say no. I could be wrong, but I'm going to say no. Cowboy, what came first, polygamy or monogamy historically?
Polygamy.
Okay, I was wrong. Polygamy did come first. Okay.
I mean, that only makes sense. You know what I'm saying? This whole monogamy thing, man, that's really a European thing. You know what I mean? I mean, think about it. When you look into European history, you know, how many people were practicing polygamy? You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That really came from them and their forced religions, you know, the religions they forced onto us, you know, and now we're like, this is the way to do things, you know, which I think is really odd, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people who claim that they're pro-black, they do a lot of things the way that the white man told us to do it. So, but we were first, and so before, you know, this whole monogamy thing, there was polygamy.
Okay. All right, all right. Like I said, you know, I'm open to being wrong, and I'm open to being corrected. But I agree with Sherelle. Most of the guys that are asking for poly is a bunch of whoremongers, because you have to, because traditionally you need to still pay a dowry. You still need to have the funds to take care of these women. Most men don't have that in this country. However, with all these super chats that's being sent out, they may not be able to practice polygamy in the U.S. outside of Utah. To answer Mufasa's point, polygamy is not practiced in the country legally. It's only practiced in one state. But $40,000 in Japan could go a long way. Matter of fact, I think $40,000 US dollars can translate to $4 million in Japan. Just a thought. Just want to throw that out there for you guys. But Latoya, what did you want to go ahead?
Not really. Not really.
Because here's why I said that. Because I remember somebody sent a super chat for 2,000 yen, but that's really $20 in the US.
Yeah. Okay. So this is why I'm telling you, not really.
Okay.
Because when you get over to Japan, you'll notice that, you know, things are not. They're about 2,000 yen. You see what I'm saying? So it's almost the equivalent. You know, things are a little cheaper. You know, especially if you're buying things that are made there, obviously.
Right.
But you know, they're not. It's not like you're going to be wealthy when you get to Japan. That's not one of those countries. You know, by the time you see the price of things in Japan, and you're like, holy crap, I'm going to spend this. I'm almost spending the same amount of money. You know, you'll still spend like $20, you know, for lunch and stuff like that. If you know you go to a certain place, especially if you're in Tokyo. And, you know, Tokyo is just out of control, expensive. You know, like New York. So.
Well, yeah, Tokyo, 100%. Matter of fact, well, I got my opinion about Tokyo.
You'll be in the countryside, sir, and you'll be lucky to be there. But Japan's expensive. It's not the cheapest place to live.
What will be the least expensive? Or anywhere overseas?
As far as that, so far, Philippines. You're talking about $1,000 a month. So you're talking about $12,000 a year to live in the Philippines.
So y'all heard the man. Philippines it is. But Latoya, what you wanted to add on the topic? Because I know you wanted to jump in. And she stepped away from her phone again. It's all good. But yeah, real quick, y'all, to end the topic, cheating. Does cheating come with success? The option to cheat comes with it. Matter of fact, better options than when you was poor. But like I said, it's still up to the man if he want to exercise those options. I say don't do it. Or better yet, if you're in a monogamous relationship, don't do it. If you're in some type of open poly relationship, do what you got to do. Hey, it is what it is. Like I said, I read you guys the on Sunday. And if you were on Clubhouse today, I read you guys the STD numbers. Just be careful. That's all I got to say. And one last thing before we go, because that was today's show, public service announcement. I'm not going to play Aaron's Rid. Actually, can I? No, I'm not going to do it. There was a.
Wait, let me say goodnight before you address any drama.
You want to say goodnight?
Yeah, good night, everybody. Thank you for having me on the panel.
Sherelle, you are, you know what? I love you. Thank you for pulling up. You are officially the first person to pull up on the B.TS show. Most people have been ducking scared. You are a real one. You have my love. Thank you, sweetheart.
You're welcome. Good night.
I appreciate being pulled up too.
Hey, so you already know you are like family here. You can come. You can come by anytime you want.
And women, just know, don't take it personal if a man is cheating. That's something within himself. It has nothing to do with you. Well, maybe it don't. Because I do believe some women can push you to cheat. But that's another topic.
Mm-hmm. Look, communication is key, ladies and gentlemen. Men, don't be afraid to PJ is right. She definitely is a real one. I always respected Sherelle and all these other any other panel that we're on, I always had love and respect for Sherelle. But now, fellas, just be honest. Tell her you are in charge of the relationship anyway. I guess I cannot believe I'm about to say this. A relationship is like a business. You have to run it like such. Man, like I said, you're gonna take the most risk. You're gonna bear a brunt of majority of the responsibilities, anyways. So you get to dictate how you want that relationship to be run. You want to be monogamous, be monogamous, and don't do this shit wrong. If you want to be poly, because that's all it is. You being in a monogamous relationship and having something on the side. That's still a poly. That's still poly. Don't be afraid to tell her, like, look, you'll be surprised how many women will be down with that. You know why? Because they respect honesty. And they're going to always respect you for saying, you know what? He gave me the option to choose. The reason why most of these things blow up in a bunch of people's face because men rob other women of options. That's why it always blows up in the face. So your best bet is just to put everything on the table. Look here. Here's our plans for us. Here's my 5-year plan. Here's my 10-year plan. Here's my resume as well of what I've been doing. You are taken care of for the rest of your life. But I just wanted you to know, I do like to keep a extra side with me every now and then. So all the options on the table. Now she can't be looking surprised. So that way she can say she's probably going to say no, which is fine. That's all right. Or she does say yes. You already know what she's going to say. Don't come out here making me look bad because that's the worst thing you could do. She don't actually, cause she don't care if you sleep around. Just don't make her look stupid. Don't bring home any STDs because, like I read to you guys, 2.5 million known cases of STDs, and also keep in mind there's some cases that's unknown. And what else? Some babies. Bringing a baby into the situation. I told y'all it takes $310,000 to raise a baby from the day they're born all the way up until the 18. Actually, more than that with inflation. Put all your options on the table and let her decide. She's a smart woman. She can decide for herself. Don't worry, you're gonna be all right. And that's correct. The 4 C's be the key: communication, comprehension, cooperation, and compromise. 1,000%. Now, let's get into this is my final topic that we're going to go. Cap, anybody on Clubhouse heard me say this before. And I know when I hop on certain panels on YouTube, people are shocked at my responses and how I'm not trying to dumbing down or explaining anything. I talk to leaders. I don't talk to followers. I don't talk to children. I don't. At the age of 35, with all the skin I have in the game, all the things that I put in to my experience, me personally, I'm just not going to dumb down my speech or conform to anybody. That's why I created the B.TS show. This is my barrier. This is my space. I have created a audience for me to where I can say what I want, and hopefully you just understand. The leaders that have came across in the past 8 years that I've been doing this has been cool. Now there has been but unfortunately, there's been a lot of people who don't understand me, who don't understand my intellectual way of thinking, because a lot of people's thinking inside the box. I don't do that anymore. Matter of fact, I can't recall. Matter of fact, I haven't done that since I was a child. You could thank my father. You could thank the Book of Proverbs for that one. Just thinking outside the box, getting out of the safe zone, and swimming in shallow waters, because that's what I'm most comfortable at. Now, why am I bringing that up? Little podcast. When it comes to podcast talking point, I don't care about his personal situation. I don't. It's up to him if he wants to tell the whole world that. Not smart, but that's his decision. Because of his limitations, some and as much as we try to even come down on his level and understand it, it's extremely difficult to do. But at the same time, he gets mad when he goes into other spaces and people need to cater to his way of thinking, cater to the thoughts, the talk points that he puts out there. See, when I go to other spaces with my mentality of thinking, I don't get upset when people don't understand where I'm coming from. I kind of expect that. I'm humble enough to just learn to deal with it for the moment and just keep it moving. Jump in here and there when the time permits me to. Not overtake a whole entire conversation and let my insecurities come out and run roughshod. Unfortunately, that's what Little Podcast did on Aaron's show last night. It was a good stream about Black conservatives. Of course, a lot of people don't like Black conservatives. They don't like the Candace Owens of the world. They don't like the who else is a Black conservative? Fat man with the fedora. I forgot his name. They don't like him. There's some other brothers that they don't like as well. But when we have conversations, an open dialogue, we're speaking how we speak. You need to keep in mind you're talking to other people, you're talking to our audience. So when we talk about certain topics, we're speaking in generality. When you make it all anecdotal and you want to get upset at people who is trying to take it back to where people can relate to the conversation, it's just bad. Like I said, you guys need to go watch that stream to see how it went down. The reason why I'm saying this, because like I said, I'm really trying to stay away from his personal situation. I'm really trying to tiptoe around it because I have my personal feelings about that. You guys heard Anton state how he feels about that. You guys heard how JB feels about that. I'm trying my damnedest to keep that opinion to myself. What I'm saying is, fam, podcast, I respect you, but your whatever your issue is, you need to fix it because that's going to be your downfall. I understand that my message it's not going to resonate with a lot of people because of mentally where I put them at. Your frustration is nobody's understanding you and there's nobody that can hear you. You have done what I've been done. I created my own platform. I created my own audience. I created my own role, my own lane. And for you to go off and blow up the way you did, matter of fact, as far as to say that you washed a panel full of Negroes, I caught a glimpse of that stream that you did today, and I just turned it off because it's like he don't want to know how far I can take it. Podcast, I love you, I respect you, but how you handle yourself and Aaron's show last night, you was tweaking, you need to relax, and you need to calm down, brother. That's my public service announcement. That craziness that you was on the other night, please don't do that again. Please don't. I'm gonna keep it respectful, and I'm just gonna keep it G. Just don't do that again. That's my public service announcement for the little podcast situation. He made a hell of a lot of people feel uncomfortable. Like I said, the exchange between him and Anton was bad, but they'll work it out. They figure it out. But dude, you gotta chill out. Like seriously, some real shit. All right, y'all, and that was probably the best I could do with that, tiptoeing around the matter. It is what it is. I'm done with it. Like I said, I have no beef with him. Podcast is cool people, but he just doing too much. He needs to relax. So we gonna get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. And actually, real quick before I go, I want to give you guys an announcement. We are doing a watch party on April 1st and 2nd. 6:45 p.m. It's when the stream will start. We will officially go live at 7 p.m. 2 nights, WrestleMania, watch party, and live reaction. That is April 1st and 2nd. And also, ladies and gentlemen, hold on, what's this? Okay, so no Anton critique. Anton critique regarding what? Regarding how he handled the situation yesterday. I see you on the panel. Why not work? What? Oh God, I'm done with spaces. Finally, she sees me on the panel when I'm not working. Yes. I do have a house. Regarding Anton, okay, I'll speak about that. I'll speak about Anton real quick before we head out. Anton, if we're talking about strictly what happened yesterday, if you could pull up to the panel, Mufasa, I would greatly appreciate it. So just in case if I'm missing the point. And as far as critique for Anton, he does not like men in a podcast situation and men that has the past of podcasts. And also, he also doesn't like the fact that how one will glorify the things he did in the past, and how he looks to justify the situation that he's in right now. Hold on, let me see this. Can you post a link up to Aaron's video? Let me see. I'm gonna have to look for it right now. He told the man that he should die. He goes too far sometimes, but he was right. Yeah, he did say that. He 100% say that. Now, would I necessarily say that? Absolutely not. I know better, because God has a way of pulling the rug from under me. So that's why I try my hardest. You can demand to me on Discord. I'm a back chaser. I know, Spaces. I know you're a back chaser. I know that 100%. But See, and here's why he said that. I'm not just for the record. I'm not justifying what Anton said, but one thing, the reason why he is saying that because as a taxpayer, he's tired of taking care his tax dollars going to he's tired that his tax dollars is going to a group of people who just go into victim Olympics, who always want to complain about the system. The white man did this, the white man do that, the white man's holding me down, but I'm being taken care of by said system. He doesn't like that at all. And for spaces, I went ahead and posted it in the chat right there for you. And Big Mufasa said that's just tough love from Anton. Yeah, it is. But the thing is, I don't know how old Podcast is. He is. Only thing I know is he's 2 years older than Angry Man. I don't know how old the Angry Man is. Like I said, I was really touching on the way Podcast behavior without exposing what he does. Although he has said it before, I'm just not going to put his business out there like that. But what he does in his personal life, he does in his personal life. The only thing I'm going to just tell that brother, you need to get your emotions in check. You need to keep your mental health in check. You just need to keep a lot of things in check, especially your insecurities. Because I'll tell you one thing. I have not done nothing he did in the past. And I'm damn sure not doing what he's doing right now. I'm not. And I'm busting my ass every day to make sure that I don't. And now his problem is that he thinks a lot of people think he's better than him because of the decisions he made. That's insecurities, brother. You're gonna have to get over that. You made your decision and just live with that. And just make sure that the youngest underneath you or the youngest behind you don't follow in the same footsteps that you did, the same things that you're doing. Now, what I just said is a nice version compared to what Anton said the other day. The question is, which one is going to be more effective? And I'll tell y'all, there's nothing wrong with tough love. I'm all for it, especially when you're an adult. But yeah, hopefully everybody was able to follow me where I was going with that. I was kind of over the place talking about podcasts because, like I said, I'm not trying to put that man's business out there. Yes, he did, but I'm not doing that. I'm just want to tell that brother, please keep your emotions in check, get your mental health in check, and just when you're on other people's panels, just be advised they don't have to cater to you and your thought process. They don't have to. They damn sure don't do it to me. It's just every now and then we just so happen to be on the same page and a conversation is going. So that's just how adults handle it. That's how us outcasters handle being on this panel. How you handle it was terrible. I seen people doing reactions all day about that interview, and every now and then I kind of cringe when I go back and listen to it. But it's all good, man. Like I said, I have empathy for podcasts, but my life looks like yours and Anton's. I have empathy for a podcast too. Like I said, I have no beef with this guy. I respect him. Podcast is necessary in this space, but don't Joe Budden yourself. And what I mean by that is don't get in your own way from success. Joe Budden has done that plenty of times. Granted, he's in a great space now. But I just need podcasts to get out of his own way sometimes. That's all. And I need a lot of YouTubers and Clubhouse people to do the same thing. Get out of your own way. And if you can't do it, trust me, get yourself a team that will make sure they will check you when you step out of line. Trust me, I got mine over here. Last comment, then we got to go. If he does what I'm thinking, I have very little empathy for anyone that causes detriment to the society as a whole. He's not doing that now. I will definitely not put that on him that he's doing that now. He might have did that in his past life. He's not doing that now. I don't like how he glorifies it because we all did some things, whether it be illegally or nothing in that realm. We all did some things that we're ashamed of, that we wish we could go back and redo. He's not ashamed of it's not say ashamed of it. He glorifies it, and that goes against my particular moral codes. And I'm just gonna chalk it off to a one time thing with him. Like I said, he's a complicated individual, but he's still good people. It's just that I wonder about his decision making in this stage in his life. But it's 2023. We'll get it. We're all gonna. He'll get it together. He'll be fine. I just had to get that off my chest because I didn't like how last night went down, and it still bothered me today. So I just wanted to speak on that. But want to let you guys know we are done with the stream, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, come back. March 20th is the season 9 premiere of the B.TS show. If you guys go back and watch the intro, you guys are going to see obviously my AIs, but you guys are going to eventually see all my clips from me just being on YouTube for March 20th will be the start of the 9th year of me being on YouTube. So I've been doing this for a very long time. When did I start getting on panels? It was the day after Kevin Samuels passed away. Salute to my guy, Big Back. His name is Content King now on Clubhouse. We've been talking about how I need to get on the YouTube panels and that type of stuff. It's always been in the works, but for some reason, when something tragic happens, that's when I tend to push the button. Unfortunately, it was Kevin Samuels passing. My first time on the panel was actually Fight Club. It was when it was on Anton's channel. And I have been on panels ever since then, providing just providing a scope that most people don't tend to look at. Like I said, I know a lot of people tend to be in a safe space when they having these open discussions. I'm in the shallow water. If you have to compare my thought process or my thinking process, the best example I can give is Aaron. Maybe Cheeky. Yeah, Cheeky as well. But me, I'm out there. They're in their own lanes in the shallow water. I'm in my own lane. So I see things a little bit different than everybody else. That's why I don't have a problem letting people talk, let them get their thought process out, because I kind of have an idea where they're coming from, but I just want to give them that respect. So that way, when I come in, I insert what I got to say. Like I said, some people are going to get it, some people don't, and that's okay. Like I said, I talk to leaders. I don't talk to followers. I don't talk to children. The people that need to get it will get what I'm saying, and they will then pass on that message to their followers, and then that's how I get my message out. I've been doing that for years now, and I'm gonna do it for years more. So, like I said, March 20th is the season 9 premiere of the B.TS show. Mufasa, my brother, thank you. I appreciate you for your support today. And also on April 1st and 2nd, we do watch parties for live pay-per-views. We will be doing WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2. Stream opens at 6:45. We will go live at 7 o'clock on the dot. Other than that, people, thank you guys for pulling up. Do me a favor, like this video and subscribe to my YouTube page. Follow me on all social media accounts. If you guys would like to make a donation, it is $ the B.TS show through Cash App. Participants waive all rights to privacy. We are still on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Once we reach that goal, one lucky person will get $100, just one. So you guys know my man of my word. We are almost at 500. Once we reach that goal, one lucky person is going to get $50 out of me. Don't forget to visit the B.TS show website, ladies and gentlemen. And also, later on this year, we're going to have B.TS merch. I'm currently working on it right now. Just need to figure out the logistics of it. I got some of the designs down packed already. And we are going to go ahead and start selling merch. Later on this year, you guys have my word, but we'll see how that goes. But other than that, thank you guys for pulling up. We will be back next Thursday with the All World reaction. When you guys subscribe, hit the bell so you'll be notified when I go live, when I upload content. And also, since I'm going to the rodeo tomorrow, Bum B concert in NRG Stadium, I may go live from the concert. Just maybe. Just keep an eye on my social medias and we'll see what we do. Other people, it's been the B.TS show. I'm your host, Christopher J. I'm about to go to bed. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.